And they are off. So Eldra and Terrex asked me to do commentary for them on this race. I do have a little bit of experience playing this game, but I never took it seriously as a speedrun, so I'll do my best. Mute Crimson Plus, let's see, it's a precision platformer. Anything that is orange or yellow on the screen will kill them in one hit. And it'll send them back to the little checkpoints where you can see they just passed one. Those little swords lying around there. You have a jump and a double jump. The jumps are fixed height, so you can inadvertently jump into a spiky ceiling if you're not careful. And then they have a simple sword slash. That's it for the basic mechanics. The only other mechanic that you'll see them employing is some wall climbing and some wall jumping. So you can jump off a wall, then double jump to get a little bit of extra height, and that's faster than wall climbing in basically every situation. This first stage here is pretty trivial, whether or not you've even played the game before, so don't expect to see much separation for the players until maybe some later stages. And here we have our first boss. Certainly a squid. All of the bosses in this game require 3 hits, and they usually have some invincibility pattern that they go through before you can hit them for a second and third hit. Ooh, and you see the first death there. Eldra getting blasted by those guys. The climb up there is pretty tight, so it's not too surprising to see someone take a death there. Looks like Terrex took his first death too. There is a mode in this game where you can play, you start with only 9 lives and you get 1 extra life every time you beat a boss. And if you run out of lives, it's game over. But these guys aren't insane, so they're playing normal mode where they have unlimited lives. Agree fast. The main appeal of this game, I think, to most of the people who speedrun it, is just that it's it flows really well when things are working, and even when they're not, it can flow pretty well. You can see Eldra had to wait on a wind cycle there to get him across. This stage has wind that periodically blows to the left, being generated by some unknown source. My apologies if I cut in and out a little bit. I'm having a bit of trouble with the stream viewing. Gonna mess with some settings here. Here we have the second boss. It's just a moth that wants to be your friend. He just wants to play some cards with you, but these guys are mean jerks, so they're gonna take him down. We have a $50 donation from Ice Lizard Games. Ice Lizard Games is the developer of this game, and they're very supportive of you if you stream this game and speedrun it. They say, good luck on the race, both of you. Shoutouts to video games and people who like them. Let's get them over. Thanks so much, ILG. Pretty much every stream I've ever seen of Mute Crimson Plus, ILG shows up and shows their support. This is a great game, and if you have a few bucks, go ahead and get it on Steam. Okay, the third world here, it's pretty trivial to speedrun. Not a lot of cycles to hit or anything like this. One thing I guess I should mention about this game is a lot of the speed tech is meant to help you make cycles. There's lasers that go off there, you know, those wall faces that shoot bullets, everything like that, and you can only you know, make it to a cycle so soon. So really, a lot of the stages are just measured in how many cycles you missed, and it can be extremely tight to make an ideal cycle in a lot of the stages, especially in World 5 and 6. You probably won't see either of these guys going for too many of the really tight cycles because they're just not very marathon safe. I'll try not to overpower the soundtrack too much. Good one, Fast. Here we have the boss of World 3, big floating eye guy. Really, the only speed tech that you can do with this guy is make sure to hit him as soon as he becomes invulnerable, and for the first and second hits, you want to hit him as close to the bottom of the screen as possible, so he goes off screen quickly. What lore? You have a lore master in chat right there in ILG. This song is sick. can see them waiting out a lot of cycles in this level. This level has a lot of lasers, so a lot of tight cycles to go for if they want to. And if they mess up their movement a little bit, you'll probably see them wait it out a little bit. If you go fast on this stage, you just kind of land right on top of that platform on the bottom there, no problem. If you wait, it gets a little tricky with those snakes that shoot at you. Those guys are called magicians. There's some lore for you. Yeah, this game has a pretty steady difficulty progression. It increases quite linearly for the most part. And then in a lot of the later stages, even this stage here, you'll see there are pretty long sections without a checkpoint. That just gets taken to the extreme as the worlds go on. And if they die near the end of one of the stages, they could end up losing a lot of time. Eldra with the pause there. You're not practicing, man. Just a reminder that you are watching Bring 'Em Over. This is a marathon aimed at getting Prissy and Cassio third to AGDQ 2018. Prissy hails from Germany and Cassio's from Brazil. So travel costs are quite expensive for these guys, and a few of their speed friends, including Chelny and Fast for the most part, decided to put this marathon on for them to get them over there. Our next donation incentive coming up is a character choice for Burning Rangers. We have Tillis and Show. I've been told that there's not much of a difference in gameplay, but there is some dialogue and cutscene difference between them. This boss should be easy every time, but it just never is for some reason when I play, at least. I know Eldra has a hard time with him sometimes. If you predict when the platforms come out really well, you can hit them a cycle earlier with these lasers. You gotta jump on the platform, jump up to that handlebar pretty quickly and get them before the lasers go off. It's pretty tight. Both are done, and this is a tight race we got going here. This is probably my favorite stage overall. I really like the music here, and I like the mechanic they add into it with these, I guess, low gravity sections and some, I guess it might be representing like airlocks or something since they're on the moon. But basically you have effectively some wind pushing you one way or another that changes your mechanics quite a bit. Yeah, and Eldra with a really nice no stop in the second section there, first try. Saw Terrex struggle with that a little bit. Plus snakes with space helmets, of course. Puppy chucked in the lake. Throwback to Ice Plug earlier in the marathon. Treating our ears to some delicious songs. Yeah, ILG, it looks like they went the safe route and killed the eyeball friend. In that section there, you can kind of just let the eyeball follow you around. As long as you don't go too slow, he'll never get you. On some of the platforms, you see that they're climbing up right next to a laser. They have to be really careful to hold up and only up to climb up to the top of them. If they hold up in direction towards the laser, they'll almost certainly die immediately upon exiting the wall climb animation. This is a precision platformer, so you have to be careful with your inputs. And Terex is back in the lead. My commentary might be lagging a little bit behind. I apologize. I can't get the streams to load quick enough for me, so I'm probably 5 or 6 seconds behind the actual gameplay. Man, I just want to hum along with the song so bad. Wow. They were synced on my screen there. Oh good. They're synced on the restream too. This boss is questionably a squid. And a deceptively difficult boss fight. Really easy if you remember what to do, but really easy to get out of sync with the squid's movement and the magician's shots. Looks like they both take care of him, no problem. You can't die after you kill the boss, by the way. I'm sure you've seen him do things that should have killed them after they destroy the boss. Rip stream quality. This is a really good race, but they have 2 worlds left, and they are by far the hardest worlds and the most punishing to die in general. So there could be a substantial lead change at any moment. I must have missed, Terex must have taken a death there. Yep, the smallest mistake will just kill you in this game. It can get really frustrating when you're trying to go for a good time. I know Eldra was struggling a bit to get his sub 40, and then for a few days, and then he crushed it with, I think, a 38 time. Getting a deathless run is kind of a monkey that stays on your back here for quite a while. The world record for this game is just ridiculous. Captain Falcon destroyed this game. There's not a lot of time left in the run. Due to the nature of you having to make cycles in this game, there's not a ton of things that can be sped up over, you know, optimal cycles. So there are some optimizations here and there and a couple things he missed, but overall, you're gonna have to try pretty hard if you want to compete with him. A lot of the speed strats in this game were developed by Baron pretty early on in this game release, Baron Haynes. And I think a lot of other people contributed here and there as well. He did some pretty intense strat finding early on, and I know Eldra has a signature tech that he is coming up in World 7. Okay, you can see Eldra just got a skip there. He jumped up to that wall on the left, and that skipped a whole another one of those sections where you're kind of floating around, waiting forever to get through a maze. There's Baron. Knew he'd show up for this. Oh, he was already here. Looks like Eldra is maintaining a steady lead here. Both players look like they've been playing well since the start of this world. This stage that they're both on is a pretty big pain. There are a couple of bonus content modes in this game. One of them is a Doom Timers run, where I believe there's a time limit for each level, and I believe the time limit is based off of ILG's, someone at Ice Lizard Games' best times, and I think they added a little bit of buffer onto each one of their best times. So you essentially are forced to learn to speedrun the game if you want to beat that mode. And a couple of the stages are brutal, but it is good training if you want to speedrun the game. It's also really good training if you want to beat arcade mode with the limited lives. This is a pretty unique boss in video games in general, I guess. Well, maybe not, but I really like the way he's implemented. This Demon Lord will, his speed depends on how close he is to you. The farther away he gets, the faster he goes. And they're really just putting all of their skills to the test here to make sure they get through this deathless. It's fairly trivial once you learn what to do in this fight. Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it, Tristan? Can't really outrun him. There are some sections, in fact, in which you want to lure him a little bit closer to you so that you can get a little bit of a buffer. But mostly just go as fast as you can. And don't miss a jump, don't miss a handlebar, handhold, you know. That little jump that Eldra did to get up to that teleporter is more tricky than it looks. The fixed jump height in this game makes that if you do a full double jump, you're gonna hit the ceiling. If you do a single jump, you're gonna hit the wall. And both the ceiling and the wall kill you, except for that one tile. Looks like Eldra's through without a death. Terex is well on his way to that as well. I think that was a deathless 6 for Eldra. But let's be honest, here's where the shit gets real. World 7. Checkpoints are few and far between in these stages. Oh, did he have one death? One death is still really good for World 6. Six is a good world to practice. There are a lot of cycles you can make if you get good at the levels. And just in general, learning to be consistent with not dying is helpful, obviously. Eldra said he was pretty tired before this run, but he's not looking tired right now. He's pulling it together. This section with the falling blocks has a skip you can do if you stop in the middle and wait a certain amount of time before triggering some blocks to the left. You can kind of thread the needle in between them. And here we have the Eldravator. Let's see if Eldra gets it. Oh! He got stuck. He made it. And yes, I did say Eldravator. That's his signature strat. Now you're getting it. Ooh, Eldra taking a death there. You can see how punishing the deaths get. Yeah, this game can kind of lull you into a sense of complacency. It goes so smooth when it's going well. You mess something small up and then you're dead without knowing what hit you. And then it can tilt you pretty hard if you let it get to you. Yeah, tilt would be the appropriate word here, just like in poker. You get tilted from losing one hand, you're gonna lose a bunch more. Here you're just gonna get into an endless chain of deaths. Yeah, this game is it's pretty much all about flow and rhythm. If you stay on it, everything's hunky-dory. There's an old-timey shout out for fast right there. Spin is a very yeah, rhythmic stage for sure. That's coming up pretty soon here. And it's easy the first time, but as soon as you die, usually you're gonna die again. Yeah, Peachy Keen. You'll get right through that stage lickety split. Ooh. See, there isn't a lot of time to get yourself set up in the safe spot in this, I believe is it the Northern Cross or Southern Cross level? It's a similar stage to the one in Stage 4, or World 4, but harder. Lots of tight cycles to make. One other thing about the mechanics of this game is adjusting your position by tapping the D-pad doesn't really work. You have a bit of a startup when you start running, so you kind of have to tap and hold it for a few frames and then let go and hope you haven't gone too far. Eldra's entering spin here. Let's see if he can make it through. You can make it a lot easier on yourself if you wait out a few of these cycles. Although that can throw off some of the later cycles, like this horizontal moving platform section with the pong balls going back and forth. Everything's going to plan so far. Eldra's entering spin now. Oh, and Eldra gets caught up on that wall, takes a death. Eldra, easy every time. Did I say Eldra took a death? It was Terrex. Yeah, look at these lemon balls here. Show of hands in the chat. Who loves the candy lemon heads? Another old-timey reference for you right there. Fast firing a shot at Terrex there. These sections might look a little bit tricky with all the falling blocks, but they're really not too bad at all. Eldra just getting his death and I hate lasers out of the way right away. What a guy. Ooh. That orange blob almost got him. I Hate Lasers is pretty infamous because it just doesn't have a checkpoint. And no single section in the level is super difficult, but as you can see right there, jumped a little bit early and didn't quite get late enough with that second jump. Now he has to replay the whole thing. And just a massive lead change right there. I don't know if Baron's got the stats on how long this stage takes to complete, but it feels like it's about a minute long. Feels longer when you're playing it, honestly. Oh, Eldra. He's dancing. Terrex straight through I Hate Lasers. A minute 15. And Eldra wasn't quite to the end, but pretty close. Probably minute in, a little under. I think everyone's pretty focused on this race here, but we are holding a fundraising marathon, so if you'd like to donate, some incentives just got posted in the chat. You can donate towards some of those if you'd like, or you can just donate in general, and we greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get Percy and Cassio to AGDQ 2018. Back to the race. Rest assured that if you do send some bits our way, that they are being tracked. I think we just need to add it to the donation total. The final boss is called the Wall. Fitting name, because you get walled here when you play this the first time. It's just a fact of life. Terrex is just breezing through the fight here. GG. That's time for Terrex. Looks like he's just cut the 40 with a 39.59, according to the stream timer. Great come from behind victory by Terrex. He beasted World 7 for sure. Terex cuts the 40 for the first time. Gotta highlight it, man. Show everyone that mute lemon. And GG to Eldra. That was a great race. Great job, you guys. That's a tough game to play in a marathon.